What's going on YouTube? I'm Evan, this is Marksman Trading, and welcome to this day trade recap. Today's February 2nd, and we're up $74 in the prop firm account. As you can see here, solid day in the eval account through Apex. So we're only about $830 away from hitting profit target for the first time and getting a PA account. So that would be sweet. This is the first I've ever gotten, actually both accounts. And you know, I failed a bunch as well. So yeah, we're close. Really close. Just slow and steady. You know, we'll get there pretty soon. And we took, unfortunately, 2 losses on Apple and Microsoft today. So, but tiny loss, tiny red day today. We're only down $3.50, thankfully. So that's not bad at all. So to start off, the NQ, we the first trade we took was early. It was at 9:49. A lower high exhaustion move. So yeah, it was more of an exhaustion play than a lower high, but still was right to like the pre-market high. So as you can see here, the thesis for this trade was we opened up at 9:30 and we just ripped up, you know, no pullbacks. So we were getting extended. The market, I've said it before, the market's like a rubber band, right? And as it gets stretched out, it's going to snap back. And so we got stretched out here, you know, exhausted the buyers out. And we're also rejecting previous day's close and the supply zone. We had a 1-minute demand line indicating that I can go short there. So my edge lined up perfectly with this. We had a 2-minute supply line. We had 5-minute supply line forming. Nothing 15-minute, but we had even 30-minute supply line. So we had macro supply, 1-hour supply. And we had that supply zone here as well based off the hourly. So we didn't only just have previous day's close as a key level. We also had this supply zone as well. Yeah, so that was the thesis for the trade. I got in here after after these 2 topping tails, and this flush stayed heavy at 9:48. I got in here, I got in 1 M&Q at 17,610, and I covered for 1R with my stop loss at the previous high of day and pre-market high up here at like 17, what was the stop loss at? 17,647. So that's I was using a wide stop loss because I was hoping to scale in. As you guys know, I want to try scaling in some more lately. My mentor is kind of guiding me with that, and you know, he thinks that it'll definitely help out with my edge a lot more, and hopefully kind of, you know, I'm spinning my wheels with trading a bit lately, so hopefully that'll help a lot more with just finding consistency. So I took 1 M&Q, still risking $74 per on this trade, because I want to take $100 per trade in my prop firm account because I'm close to hitting that profit target. But with this one, you know, taking 2 M&Q contracts would, you know, I would be too oversized. Even with this wide stop loss, that would put me at like $150 per trade. If I were to take this one here. So I can only take 1 M&Q, hoping that if it would, you know, kind of pop down and cause like a lower high against previous day's close, I could enter again and move my stop loss down, so I could have a decent average and also have a lower stop loss, and get possibly, you know, hopefully more money out of it. But that didn't happen, so I just took the 1R trade as it kind of reversed and flushed back down to VWAP. I covered at 17,573. So that was a solid trade. Definitely can't complain about that, you know, slow and steady in this account. So here's the short on Apple I took today. It was a starter trade. I just took 2 shares with my stop loss above previous day's low up here at 183.83. I entered here at 182.93, got short. The reason for this trade was Apple gap down, and I was looking for it to close this gap on the daily chart and then roll back over, and also rejecting the 100 SMA on the daily as well. So the key level was like previous day's low, which I rejected with the topping tail. I got into what I was assuming to be a lower high. So I took it with a starter, knowing, you know, Apple's still kind of strong. You know, even the 1 minute does kind of look bullish. So honestly, I shouldn't even taken this trade, because even looking at the 5-minute, the 5-minute had a solid pullback to 90 EMA with some solid bottoming tails right there. And lastly, even looking at this more of a macro picture, we had a triple bottom at this demand zone. So people looking to get into Apple long term are looking to buy here, and you can even see the buying power that came in today, or the momentum. Look at the volume on that, almost double the average. So yeah, that was, I shouldn't even like went short here, but thankfully it was on a starter. As I've said in the past, I'm just trying to, you know, figure out sizing in. It's been a while since I have, so it's definitely gonna be a process, but we had a 5-minute supply line, I'm pretty sure, or 15-minute. What was it? 2-minute supply line forming. Actually, 2-minute supply line was straight. We had 5-minute supply. 15-minute was forming. Yeah, so we had the supply line, so technically lined up with my edge, but it's just the price action that has to agree, and that's what I was messing up. That's what I was wrong about today. So after we flushed down, I was hoping we'd roll over. I think we flushed below like the 1 minute 9 EMA. We did. So I got in right there, you know, on the pop back up, but we didn't. I was hoping it would roll over and I could short pops into like 90, back down to VWAP, or if it fails VWAP, I can like short back into VWAP. I'm just trying to like manage these positions better rather than just focus on like, you know, being red or green. But it was a good stop out. I mean, you can see Apple just took off today. So that was the Apple trade. We shouldn't have taken it, but it was on starter size, so can't complain. That's a nice thing about these starters too, is, you know, I really don't care that I'm down only like $3.50 today. That's nothing compared to the rest of the week actually, where I've been down like $31, $25, $31. So big difference, you know, taking these losses on a starter size. I'm still looking forward to taking a solid trade and a winning trade on starter, and then, you know, learning how to scale in better. But it'll take time. It's a process. So here's Microsoft today. Microsoft I took it here at 10:30 with a starter size as well, at 408.02 or roughly 03. And then I got stopped out in the same candle. So the thesis for this trade was we were holding the key level previous day's high. We had what was it, 15-minute? Yeah, we had a 15-minute demand line right there. So key level, demand line, and then after this green engulfing candle that tapped VWAP and then got right back above previous day high. I got in thinking it would hold this higher low and it would move higher. But I got stopped out. And thankfully that was on a starter size. But at the same time, you know, I don't think going long there was a bad idea, but I got to remember that it's a starter size, right? I can use wider stop losses. That's the point of them. You can have a wider stop loss, give yourself more wiggle room in the trades. And so I should have put my stop loss down here below this recent pivot, all the way down here at 954. So 406.18 should have been my hard stop loss for those starter shares. Because as you can see, I was still right in the trade, right? We still made a higher low, and then Microsoft took off today. Let me move this. Sorry, I had those moved. But yeah, that's where I got out. Stop loss was down right over here. So the stop loss was based off of these wick bottoms here, and I was thinking, okay, if it's gonna hold VWAP, you know, previous day's high, I'll put it below these wick bottoms at 4749. But yeah, we got stopped out immediately. So yeah, the stop loss should have been down here for a starter at like 406.18, and I should have scaled in some more. So I never would have stopped out, right? Technically, my thesis wasn't invalidated, but I still just got out too early. I stopped out where I shouldn't have stopped out. For one, it really wasn't respecting previous day's high. That level today too much. You can see kind of like rip right back above it, right down below it, back above it, back below it, and we're hitting this demand zone, which was based off of the hourly chart, as you can see. So really shouldn't have been trying to take it off of previous day's high anyways. Should have been focused on this demand zone where these pivots are from. Secondly, when you're taking a higher low, right, the thesis is, okay, it's going to move up from here. It's not going to create a new low. And yeah, so technically it never made a new low. So my thesis on a higher low was correct. It was just bad timing and bad execution. So if I would have put my stop loss all the way down here, I could have scaled in as it based out at the demand zone, which is still a key level. We had the green engulfing candle. You guys know I like to see that for price action. I would have gotten in again at like around there at like 1035, and I could have scaled out into it, you know, scaled in some more there. I could have raised my stop loss below that pivot like I usually do. And yeah, you know, the 3 shares there would have been insignificant when I have a solid average down here on more size and with a tighter stop loss. And yeah, it would have been just a better R2R trade. And as you can see, even if it would have held it, it would have, you know, it moved all day. You know, we closed like near the highs. So yeah, that's the thing with today. You know, I was even starting to overtrade a bit. So that's what the takeaway from today is. I was kind of overtrading. So I never really should have traded Apple. Even Microsoft here was I kind of pulled the trigger too early. So yeah, the key takeaway is, yeah, even my mentor was talking to me and he's like, dude, you know, I was calling out all these names to possibly short or long, and he's like, bro, you need to just calm down. Relax, you know, you're over trading, you're looking for stuff that isn't there yet, just let it come to you. And so yeah, I told him, I kind of warned him beforehand. I know in the past when I do scale in 2 trades, I definitely have a bad habit of getting carefree because it's small size, so I tend to take a lot more than I should. I take trades without edge, and I just kind of just rush trades and force things that aren't really there. And so I kind of told him about that beforehand. That's definitely a habit I'm trying to break. But yeah, so trading's all about balance, right? You got to stay patient for your trades, but also not be too patient where you miss a trade. Like I said, I was too patient, so I saw this forming. I never even got in there. I could have re-gotten in again, with even the stop down to there if I wanted to, but I just didn't after I took that loss. So yeah, trading's all about balance. So, staying patient and waiting for your edge, while also not being too patient and not taking your edge when it's presented, and just not over trading, right? And even balance with other things. In yesterday's video talked about how I was being too picky with the price on Nvidia, I'm pretty sure. Let's go over that again real quick one more time, just because I want to make this point about balance and trading. My thesis was, I still set up for him, and I had a buy order in for 618, and it only came down to 618.21. And so, that's where you have to find the balance of, okay, you still want a good enough price in your trades where you don't skew the R to R, but you also don't want to be too picky with the price where the market doesn't even fill you, and then it just moves in your direction and goes without you. So you're gonna find a lot of stuff like that in trading, just kind of give and takes. A lot of people who have a higher success rate, they have like a lower R to R ratio, and vice versa. So trading is just all about balance. You gotta just find that balance that kind of fits you as a trader as well. But also just not making mistakes like over trading and taking trades without edge, like I did today. So yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I always try to kind of formulate these videos with the recap mostly in mind, but then I always try to do like a kind of a bit of a message, right? Like the takeaway from today, because that's the point of trading, right? And reviewing, you want to take away these key lessons to help yourself in the future. So I always try to formulate a message about what I learned today just from trading in general. And I hope it can help you guys out a ton. I'm still not profitable, so I'm still learning. I'm still in this stage. But yeah, so just I guess the takeaway from today was just find good balance in trading. But anyways, yeah, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. God bless.